Hi everyone, welcome to another Cosmic Crone conversation with me, Marie.
And me, Tina.
This week we are talking about casting spells, particularly with good intent.
Yes, positive spell casting, not the voodoo stuff. It's basically Wiccan.
Yeah, nothing against
witchy,
voodoo.
yeah,
Just
witchy Wiccan.
Not our thing. Not our thing.
Yeah.
Right, and basically, Tina's had more. Tina's had more than experience than me. Although we've found out we've done witchy things, you know, at other times in our lives, and I've explained to Tina what I've done, and it's like, wow, let's do another one on them. We need a podcast on them. So off we go. What tools do you need?
Right, so elements we can use, which are earth, air, fire and water. Crystals, we could use plants, which I do use. We are in the back of our lovely junglified garden.
Your daughter's garden, isn't it?
In Boaz, yeah. We've got almond trees, which, you know, all the plants here we can use for spells. You can use herbs, you can use the leaves, you can use, you know, the fruits of the trees.
There's medicines, isn't there, and stuff like that are made from plants that are you're casting the spell to get better, so to speak, ain't you? Like my mum used to use witch hazel on me when I was a kid in the bottle. You know, there's plants. That's, I know it might seem a bit far-fetched casting a spell, but they are used within spell casting.
Yeah, and when you're using tools, I mean, you can even say the moon and the sun are tools. Yeah, because you're using them. You know, the sun.
Well, that comes to a question I've got. Is the best time? Is there a best time or for specific spells?
With timing, as in like monthly, with the moon cycles, yes, I would say a full moon and a new moon. The full moon is like an ending of something, and a new moon is a new beginning.
Sorry about the wind, guys.
So depending on, you know, if you're wanting to end a relationship or something, I would do it on a full moon. If you want to, you're looking at starting a new project, do it on a new moon. Of course, the moon is feminine energy. The sun is good for healing. We all know it gives us vitamin D, don't we? So you can use the sun. The sun is also a symbol of success. Again, you know, sunshine. There's crystals. You can use crystals. We all know, most people know, you know, the average is an amethyst. Everybody knows amethyst is a general healing crystal. But we use crystals in medicines anyway. We use crystals in tablets, you know, pharmaceuticals.
Weren't you saying something about there's something in
watches?
That's it, in watches.
Quartz watches. That's why they're called quartz, because a quartz is a very stable crystal, because it exactly vibrates at 60 movements per second, which is why we use them for clocks. Yeah, we use them in computers, a lot of, you know, mechanical devices. So crystals, yes, they're not just for healing and stuff. They've got their practical uses, and there's proof, scientific proof, that they do have this vibrational field, you know, this frequency, because we use them in everyday objects.
That have a sacred
ley lines,
you know, vibration, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's said that Glastonbury is like the centre of the heart chakra of Earth, planet Earth. That's why it's such a magical place. Yeah. So speaking of sacred spaces, you would be best in a garden or out in nature. You can do things indoors. If you're doing things indoors, I would say, you know, have a plant with you, some natural stuff. You know, if you've got a living plant in a pot, put it with you. Crystals you can have with you, just to give you that nice natural energy. Casting circles, So what you would do if you are casting a circle, you would use the element of salt if you wanted to. You can physically draw a circle, and the point of doing the circle is you do everything within that circle. So once you've drawn that line, you want all your stuff in that circle first. You know, pick your spot where you're going to do the spell. Draw your line with a stick or with salt. You're using salt as an element, as the element of earth.
And what are you doing? Are you using the pentagram, or are you using a what's it? A pyramid?
Triangles. Pyramids.
Well, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah.
I meant triangle.
You know, a lot of witches do use the pentacle, which is like that, or pentagram, some people call it. On the tarot, it's called pentacles. It's like a coin, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's good for using money spells. And the 5 points are the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and the top one is spirit. So that's why they say, like, when it's like upside down, your spirit has descended. That's why the the devil worshippers have it upside down, because the spirit's descended. So that's the reason for that. I like using a triangle or a pyramid. So obviously a pyramid is 3D, but you would draw your circle, then you can draw a square at each point touching the circle with a dot, a point in the middle, and then you would sit in it and imagine that pyramid coming up to that center point, because that gives you power, healing. There's lots of things that a pyramid can give you. Or you can just use a 3-pointed triangle and draw that within your circle, because the 3 points, like we were talking about with religion the other day, it's the Father, Son and the Holy Spirit. It's mind, body, spirit. There's all different meanings for those 3 points, you know, so you can use that. So depending on what spell you're doing, but basically you want to draw your circle, use your salt. So if you're using all 4 elements, you've got earth, air, fire, water. For earth, you can use salt or even a crystal if you just wanted to place it there. Water speaks for itself, fire speaks for itself, and then air.
Does it speak for itself? Go on. What about fire? Would you maybe use a tea candle or a candle?
You can do, yeah. If you're doing things indoors, be safe, obviously, but you can just use a tea light candle or a long candle, depending on what the spell is.
Yeah. You might think I'm being, like, you know, pedantic about it. It's just that I'm being specific if that's indoors or not.
Yeah.
Because somebody will go, I was told I could do this in a spell. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? There's no rules. You can look at things online for guidance and stuff, but once you get to know, you know, the meanings of stuff and the uses of the elements, you can just go your own way. And
people pay a lot of money, don't they, for these kits?
Yeah,
no disrespect to anybody who sells them, but it's just that the fact that they might spend money on it when you can use the elements,
go out into nature. Yeah, you're using the plants out in the wild, you know. Oh, we've got our own. Yeah.
Oh, hang on, but I was going to say a spell doesn't need you to be all fancy schmancy. It needs to have the elements. That's the most.
It's what you put into it.
Yeah,
and you get that much joy out of doing stuff yourself, don't you? You know, creating stuff yourself.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think it's a great thing. Yeah. The other thing is we were talking about using plants and things like that. So you use plants for smudging. You know, sorry, sage. You know, I've used that. But we were talking. Sorry, I cut Tina off at that moment, but I didn't mean to. Talk about flowers and oracle cards. Bit of an advertisement for us. We've made a few oracle cards and we have a deck of chocolate tarot.
Yeah, and we've got alchemy cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can get them on, and I always forget. Where is it, Tay?
Cosmic Emporium is our shop name, and it's at printerstudio.com or .co.uk. It doesn't really matter because they ship worldwide.
Yeah, and we done birds and things like that. What I'm saying is we took the elements of them, to, you know, the strength or the courage, whatever that stands for, and the healing powers of plants.
Yeah, so the plant cards we've got are a good guide because you can use them in spells.
Yeah.
You know, you can just use them as a reference and look up because we've put the magical meanings and the health meanings if you actually consume them.
It's been a while since we've done them. Yeah, we haven't actually got them at the moment.
Yeah.
Because we're in Boaz Tepe at the moment. In northern Cyprus, and we can't get many things.
I will put a link in the description so you can
get
have
yourself
a
pack of cards.
Yeah. So next is intentions.
Now this is important, I think. But you know, apart from everything's important,
you know,
but
your intention to ask or do what is needed or what you want done, but to not harm others on that journey. Or the outcome. So for the best outcome for all involved, all intended. If you're doing like cutting ties spell, which we'll talk about, for instance, and I'll put a description on how we do that. If you want to cut someone out of your life, you know, you want to do it with the best intentions and for no malice, no harm, and it works out best for the both of you.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you ask for things, and if you say that, it sort of covers you for, you know, that saying, be careful what you wish for. Yeah. It sort of covers that, so that if it doesn't work, it's because it's not for your best interests or the other person.
Yeah, just best intentions. I mean, just when you say you don't want to cut somebody out of your life or whatever, it's about just don't want to be around them anymore. You can't. You know, you can't get away from them, or they won't leave you alone, or something like that.
Using incantations, so that's basically like a little rhyme, isn't it? Yeah. And you would say it at least 3 times.
So what you do first is you get yourself, if we can say, in the zone. So get yourself somewhere where you're at peace, you're calm, you're ready for the best intention that you can give for the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then at the end of this incantation, as a witch, we would say, so mote it be, which is like saying amen, which actually means hear my prayer. So it's the same sort of thing again, you know, it still comes back to religion, doesn't it? You know, going back to, you said you used sage before for smudging.
It's like the Catholic Church,
yeah, so when you're using the element of air.
Another, isn't it the Greek Orthodox or something?
Yeah, they all do it.
Is it
they
Jewish?
all do it in churches.
Yeah,
they all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that is using the element of air.
Yeah.
So you
and
can
fire, smoke.
Yeah, and fire.
Thing,
yeah, you can use it for both.
And what about the words?
So you can make them up. Do you know what? You could even use for inspiration. You could use chat GPT. Say, write me a 4-line incantation for a love spell or something, you know, and then you can change your words around yourself. But
I think
why
sit
not?
there. I think, do you know what? Do it for me. Do it as naturally as you can. Do it. Sit down and write something and wait until you get it how you like it.
Yeah, some people are not so creative,
you know.
Some people are not, you know, and they do need a little bit of help.
Yeah, but try it yourself. I'm sure you can write down, I don't want this person in my life.
Yeah.
Please let them go.
They give me strife.
They give me strife. But you don't have to be good at writing to do it. That I'm trying to encourage anybody to do it themselves.
Yeah, it doesn't have to rhyme either.
No.
It's just them words of intention, isn't it? So casting itself, you can use all 4 elements, and each element would go in the position of north, east, south, west. I can't remember exactly. I'd have to look on I can never remember. But I remember, like, west is water.
Why don't you turn the page where you found it
where
before?
It was.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. See, you know more than me. So earth is east, E and E. Water is west.
These.
Yeah,
don't do these. Don't.
No. Fire is south, air is north. You can try and remember yourself by making up a saying, you know. Yeah.
Well, just go like that. Instead of saying north, south, east, west, just say the elements.
Yes, so north, south, east, west would be...
Spend half a day doing this.
Yeah.
But just remember that north, can I just Right, so let's get it. North, air. South, fire. East, earth. West, water.
Yeah,
If anybody wants to write that down, that's all.
I've actually, see, I've got my little book of shadows here. So I put, here's my book of shadows, AEFW. Do you remember when we were at school in North East South West, we used to say never eat shredded wheat or naughty elephant squirt water. So you could say the same with AEFW, make up a little saying so that you remember.
Just
or
say the
just look
blinking
it up on
words.
Google.
Just say the blinking words. Air, earth, fire, water.
It's harder. Ah, yeah, if you remember it though.
Well, you can remember something.
Yeah.
Don't eat shredded wheat. You have to remember that.
This is my little book of shadows that I've had for nearly 20 years. And things have changed over the years, I must say. But I have got my spells, and these are really good to keep if you're writing your own spells, you know. And the thing is, if you're experimenting and you're new to it, it's really good to have them written down so that you can look back and think, oh, well, you know, and then do a little review. Did this one work? Yeah. Do you think it would have been better?
How could I tweak this? Yeah. I don't like the words very much on this one. And you get to know a little bit more. You might use a word that might be a fitting for that spell, and that's something. When you're doing it, we have said you've got to be like with good intentions in a space, a safe space as well. I would say. Is there a time frame for certain spells, or is it?
If you wanted to put a time frame in it, do so. You know, you can symbolize that. You can write it down. So what you would do, for instance, let's talk about what I'm going to give you a free spell, is the cutting ties one. Whoever you want to cut the ties with, if you've got something of theirs, great, that you can burn. If you haven't, you can write their name on a piece of paper. Yeah. Tie it to a rock. Use string tied to the rock with the paper in it.
Is this within the circle?
Yeah, all in within the circle. So once you've drawn that circle, everything has to be in that circle when you start with. You know, I always end up forgetting something. Oh, I forgot the lighter to actually light the fire. No, because once you've gone out the circle, you're going to have to redraw it.
So a good thing is to plan.
Yeah, write everything down first. Again, your little book. Write down what you need. That could be your guide. Even if you do a little rehearsal of, right, I've got this, I've got that, you know. So, yeah, pen and paper is a must because you want to write your incantation down beforehand if you can. So you've put your name, let's just say the name on the paper. Yeah, around the rock with the string tied to it. You've got string. What else do you do? The other side of the fire, you will be holding it. So the middle of the string is over the fire. So when you light the fire, that string will eventually break. So you would say your incantation before you start, say it while it's burning, and then say it when you're finished, and then throw everything in that fire after the thing's been severed. Put the string in, put the rock in. The rock won't burn, but the paper will, or the item of that person that's going to burn. I'm not trying to encourage that, but yeah. With the ashes, get rid of the ashes. You can throw them in the ocean, a stream, a lake. Down the drain? Yeah, down the drain. Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of everything. Well, they will float to the ocean. Yeah, eventually. Yeah, you can. Don't bury it. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. Don't like smudge it and leave it in the ground. Scatter it and let it. I don't think that's a good idea, do you? No, because the spell that I'd actually written recently for someone, it was getting rid of someone who was a bit culty. And he told her to do the opposite and not to burn it because of this and that. And I thought, hang on a minute, he's saying bury it. No. You bury things, seeds grow. So you could bury something that had a good intention for it to blossom, to bloom, to grow, to, you know, for longevity. And if it's not a natural thing, it's not going to rot. Yeah. It's not like a piece of fruit. If it's an item, it's going to stay there for a very, very long time. Yeah. Plastic takes 100 years to dissolve, disperse, whatever. So you don't want that. You don't want it around. I really think this guy was having this girl on. And yeah, of course he was doing the opposite. Yeah. Because if he believed
then if she buried it, it would still be ongoing.
Yeah, very manipulative. So burn it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Remember, fire, although it's destructive, it's renewal, like the phoenix from the flames, isn't it? The element of fire.
So you could do a spell that had fire in it, not to get rid of somebody, but to reincarnate you could reincarnate some desires that you've had, like you want to do stuff, you want to go and learn things again, you want to, you know, light the fire of like education and things. And I'm being just straightforward, and just saying there could be something that, like, by burning this particular item, it could mean all your fears, like I'm not very good at maths, right? And I should really go on a course and do some maths, you know what I mean, get myself better. But and so I could just, you know, burn a calculator, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? No, but I'm being silly.
Put calculator in a fire.
No, don't do that. But do you know what I mean? Burn my thoughts of fear, of ridicule. I could write that down.
Yeah.
I could write the, you know, ridicule, feeling stupid. No, seriously, put in a corner and all that, when I was at school and stuff like that, and overcome those fears, wrap it round a rock. I'm just bringing another situation of the fire, right? And then do exactly what you said and just get rid of it. And then at some point, I actually did do something similar, and I got my English. I didn't do it at school because I was silly. And I actually got round to it about 6 years ago. So there you go, with a spell.
So you look at fire spells, if you're using just the element of fire, when you look at birthdays and you light a candle and make a wish, that is a fire spell. Colours, using colours, coloured candles, black candles are good for drawing in
when you go,
negative energy. Yeah, so people don't even realise that they're actually doing spells, you know.
Does the person who wants that spell to work, do they have to do anything?
What, apart from the spell itself?
Yeah, so they've asked you to do it.
Right.
And they're not around.
Do you know, I really think when you want things done, it has to be you to do it.
Right, okay.
I do. I've done spells for other people. They sort of worked, but always give them something and say, you have to do this with it, you know, now, you know, like I've done someone who did want to be with someone, and if it's for the best of them, I wrote it out for her. I made a paper boat and I gave her that to put in the river, in the Thames, and let it go, you know.
Right.
You're sending it out.
Or if you buy a stream or a river or something.
So give them something so they're part of that.
Yeah, that's why I was...
Because I don't...
It's like, it reminds me of Disney, you know, and your wish is granted. No, you have to have a part in this, don't you, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you've got to have the power within yourself. Yeah, this is driving my head nuts. Types of spells. So you've got like love spells, mirror spells. You've got protection spells, healing spells.
Look these up, guys.
Yeah, mirror spells are good because if there's something bad that someone's done, revenge is not a good thing to do because it's a negative thing.
You mean if somebody's wishing you harm?
Yeah, so I would do a mirror spell. And you don't have to have a mirror. You can have a reflective surface. I use CDs, old CDs. I'll cut up a CD.
So can you explain that? Because like,
I would write the name on the CD.
Yeah.
If the person, you know, you want it mirrored, you want their bad mirrored
you want
back
to block them.
Do an incantation or just say it.
That's why I keep trying to break it down.
Barrier. It's like, okay.
I don't want you to keep getting in touch with me or my family. If you wish me any harm,
boom, there's the barrier. It will bounce back to you.
I don't wish you any harm, but if you wish, keep it. Yeah,
keep it. So you're also protecting yourself from that as well. Love spells, it's that be careful what you wish for, so that I wouldn't...
Want a tall, tall, handsome giraffe. Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
I've seen
there
one
you
down the
go.
market.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That statue of one with a tomato on its head.
Oh, it's got a
Isn't it?
tomato. Was it
Yeah.
a tomato?
Yeah, it's a tomato one.
Yeah.
It's a very strange
Oh
thing.
well.
So there you go. You've got it. Your wish is my command.
Yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah.
Love
Remember,
is, yeah.
yeah, I did a love spell for myself many years ago before I knew a lot about things. And it's about burying someone as well. Cut an apple in half, and you're supposed to write the initials of the person that you want on one side, your initials on the other. Being very simplistic about it, put it together.
With
you know,
it,
your
yeah,
incantation.
it doesn't have to be complicated.
Right? No, this is why I keep breaking it down. Yeah, and then you put it in the ground, and right. But again, that person could be ever so horrible. Just be careful what you wish for.
If it's the exact person,
yes,
yeah,
but I didn't.
naming,
I didn't. What I put, I have to sort this out. I put S. What was it?
Someone.
Yeah, ST.
To love.
Someone to love me. Those initials.
Yeah.
And then put mine. Put it together. Nothing bad. Someone to love me. I didn't say whisk me off and give me loads of money. No. Somebody to have a bit of love.
So you grew that. You put that in the ground, and the seeds grow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's good for things that you want to grow and
I think that's a
produce
good
and
spell
fruition. That is, yeah. So always say for the best.
Yeah. What about witches? Excuse me, I'll just hit my face. There's that many flies. Witches are given a bad press, aren't they? Basically.
Yeah.
I do. People are.
That's because of religion. You know,
the fear of them. You know, it's been given.
Christians, Catholicism. Yeah.
It's been given to them, hasn't it? You know, these people who are like, oh. But my area I like to be in is Wiccan, or people call white witches.
Or paganism is a lot to do with witches.
That's the kind of thing that appeals to me.
You know, it's like loving nature, really. That's all we want to do. We want to look after and protect the earth and use the elements of the earth, use the plants.
And the time of year.
Yeah.
You know, when you were saying about like the moon cycles and things like that, please look into it. Have a look. See if it's something that you know, like, or get in touch with the group. I will never stop saying this. Get in touch with the group. See if. Be careful though.
Yes. A lone witch is known as a hedge witch. Yeah. Solitary witch. Yeah. Learning. I never belonged to any coven or any group. I never had it. I did it all through books. I mean, years ago we didn't have the internet. You know, it was.
But I mean, sometimes it's nice to talk to like-minded people.
To join groups, yeah.
If you want to,
but don't get
join it. Don't particularly join it.
Just in to
just get to talk to somebody. You know, advice if a group is not for you and you want to be on your own. You do your own thing when it boils down to it. You do your own thing. I take it a little bit back, I think, about joining a group.
Sharing experiences.
That's what I mean.
What it is, you know.
That's what I mean. Not be part of you know, running round a fire with capes on, like,
naked.
You know,
though you'd
mind
like
you,
to,
yes, I'd like to. But yeah, it's about. I'll bring it all back to yourself every single time. Look it up, research, see what you might look into an area of witchcraft that you don't really like. Well, there's others then. Do you know what I mean? I think you have to sit down and really, really see what's the best for you. And from us, spells, I believe, you have to have good intention, clarity of mind, and I think if you start going in the elements of revenge or I would say bad, you know, evil areas, I think you better be careful, be very careful, because it'll always come back to you, in my opinion.
I mean, protection spells are good to even just do protection every time you do a spell. You know, before you do a spell.
Explain that then?
So is it even like a protection meditation? I would imagine a light beam, you know, from the sky down through my body, cleansing my body and down to the earth, so that I'm grounded, but at the same time I'm in touch with, if you want to call it spirit, or you know, different words for it in there, the soul, energy. So that would ground me and give me protection as well, because then I would bring that light out, and then I give myself this protective bubble,
and then carry on with the spell.
Yeah, you can use runes. You can look up runes, different runes, you know, the symbols themselves. You've got protection runes.
Keep that
a good one for a very simple
the
Fayu.
Fayu, that's it. So I can't remember the names.
There's two that look like an F actually.
Yeah.
One is to do with communication. You can engrave them on a candle and just burn the candle for if you want a protection one.
And the spells with things you put in candles, isn't there? You know, you can engrave something on it. There's loads. There's an absolute universe of stuff you can do. So what would you give people the advice for, you know, your end sort of thing? What you're talking about? I would say do everything with a good intention. What would you say, Tina?
Definitely, yeah. Good intentions. Positive spell cancelling. Cancelling.
Don't become cancelling. I think we should draw it to an end now.
Right, we've got healing spells. Healing spells. If you want to heal somebody else, green candles are good for healing. Now, again, fire spell, isn't it? And it's just the intention of seeing them healthy, isn't it? You know, and obviously every witch has her cauldron.
Connect. Yeah,
every witch has her cauldron.
Is there any more you want to say?
We spoke about connecting to nature.
Yeah,
you know,
keep
doing
saying
it in the garden. Yeah, because that's what wickery is all about.
Sorry.
We're in a mood. We're getting a sunstroke, I think.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I better go and light my cauldron.
I'll go and light my fire.
But, in an apartment, you can use anything really that's on a small scale. Yeah, just be careful.
So we really hope you've sort of had a little bit of take on spell casting. Do your research. Get to know what works for you in the sense of how you want to say things. Keep yourself a diary if you want to say it,
100%.
you know, some notes. It's like when you're doing dreams, you know, and quick, write it down.
Anything can go in that book. Yeah. And
just be careful in the sense of people taking advantage of you, which it can happen, can't it? And just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Happy spell casting.
So mote it be.
Goodbye from me, Marie.
And goodbye from me, Tina.
See you next time on a Cosmic Crone conversation. Wicka, wicka, wicka. That was funny.